You've seen World Cup soccer. You've watched the Super Bowl. You've lived through NBA championships. Now take the sun, the sand, and a net and 4 gladiators, and you've got America's fastest growing sport. The Association of Volleyball Professionals presents, this is Pro Beach Volleyball. We're going to show you why thousands of fans across the nation are converging at outdoor arenas, bearing witness to this sports phenomenon. We'll explore why the top athletes in this demanding sport have to combine the gritty, brute strength of a linebacker with the grace and finesse of a ballet dancer. You'll meet some of the game's biggest stars. St. John Smith, Randy Stoklos, Karch Karai, and the fiery, unpredictable Tim Hovland, the mighty Hov. We'll also introduce you to the new breed of athletes, looking to dethrone the current kings of the beach. We'll take you on a fantastic journey through last season's tournaments, featuring amazing victories, stunning defeats, and unexpected upsets. Who will fade before the season ends? Who will make it to Hermosa Beach? Duking it out for $750,000 in prize money at the U.S. Championships. Stick around. We're going to show it to you. Welcome, I'm Chris Marlowe. You know, for 30 years, there was no money in beach volleyball. Then came 1976, and the first prize money was offered, $5,000 for the World Championship. Since that date, volleyball has grown amazingly to where it is today. And the players get bigger and stronger every year, scratching and clawing their way through a grueling season. Let's now meet some of the major contenders of 1991. Scott Akatubby, bringing his patented Ak-Attack to the beach. He poses a threat with one of the most dangerous serves on the circuit. Ricky Ludes is a guy who has always shown tremendous potential without ever winning the big one. An incredible force at the net. Can he turn this season into his season? The premier player on the tour for years, St. John Smith, the biggest winner the game has ever had. Now, at 34 years old, does he still have the range to make the hard digs, as he's done throughout his career? Adam Johnson, a relative newcomer on the tour. Rarely lets a ball get by him, but he's still searching for the right partner. Is this the year he meets his mate? The mighty Hov, considered to be one of the most competitive players on the beach. He can do it all. He keeps the other players shaken up and captivates the fans. Mike Whitmarsh. Although he's been a pro for only a year, this 6'7" giant is almost impossible to get by at the net. Will he have the kind of year his considerable skills suggest? Randy Stoklos. For more than a decade, he has thrilled the fans with picture-perfect sets, exceptional blocks, and thunderous slams. He is sheer power. Along with his partner, St. John Smith, they are the most successful team in the history of the sport. Former Olympic hero Steve Timmons is one of the best indoor volleyball players in the world. Now that he's moved his game to the beach, can he continue his success, or will he get burned? Ken Steffes hits the beach with the force of a tidal wave. He's young, he's talented, and he's for real. And the proof of his formidable skills is that some of the top players in the sport want him for a teammate. Simply the best-known volleyball player in the world, Karch Karai. Joining the beach tour in mid-season, will Karai find the right teammate to help him dominate the beach, as he's dominated indoor courts around the world? From early spring to late fall, these bronzed warriors do battle in jam-packed arenas from coast to coast. Beach volleyball captures a new slew of fans with each city it invades. We'll begin by taking a look at the season opener in Fort Myers, Florida. Here, the official season begins. The slates of previous years are wiped clean. Past victories and defeats fade from memory as the challenge of this season looms ahead. It didn't take long for this contest to heat up.
Another bad pass.
Same play. Stoklos! And Stoklos says, I am the greatest! It is no surprise that we find St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos in the finals. For more than a decade, the names of Smith and Stoklos have been synonymous with beach volleyball. No two players in the history of the sport have won more tournaments, more money, been offered more endorsements, or received more media attention. In a game where partners are traded in like used cars, these two have been motoring together for a long time. Smith, you would figure the longer. Nice play. Oh, the call! Steffes over Stoklos.
Tim Hovland, look at the speed that this man still possesses on the beach.
The legendary Smith and Stoklos take on Tim Hovland and Kent Steffes. Hovland, an 11-year veteran, is one of the most popular players with the fans. He is partnered with Steffes, an emerging star who is fast becoming one of the most sought-after teammates on the volleyball circuit.
No, we're under. Kemp.
The action continues in Fort Myers with Hovland serving to Smith and Stoklos. Hovland's agility helps set up one of the best exchanges of the day. The veteran gunslinger Hovland taking under his wing the young hot pistol Steffes, still looking to make his reputation. Smith launches the sky ball, and Hovland receives. This could be a side out or a side change for Hovland and Steffes.
Get it hard!
Smith has got the hustle, but he just can't get there. We found out why a young Sinjin Smith chose to get in the middle of action like this.
The thing that really made a difference was when my dad would take all the kids down to the beach, it was at the same beach where all the top players were playing the game. Guys like Ron Von Hagen and Jim Mingus and Greg Lee and you know, Larry Rundle, and I mean, so many of these superstars in the sport at that time were right there, right? I mean, you could reach out and touch them, and to me, they were bigger than life. That left such a big impression on me as a little kid that, you know, when I got older, that's all I wanted to do was play volleyball.
That's a good serve, deep down the middle, tight set.
Blocked. Smith has it. Oh, what a set. And Smith tinsels it down the line.
Nobody else on the beach makes that play except Randy Stoklos.
The crafty Smith relies on the slugging power of Stoklos. Do they always consider themselves a perfect match?
We demand a lot from each other, and I think it appears at times that we're fighting with each other. And maybe it ends up like that at times because we know what each one is capable of out there on the court. And we want the other person to do as much as they possibly can do because, you know, I know that I'm giving 100%, and I want him to give 100%. And when I feel that he's not, I'm going to get on him and try to raise his level of play. And he does the same thing to me. We have different ways of doing it with each other, but that's the idea. So when people see us out there and we're kind of pushing each other, battling each other, that's really what it amounts to.
We've been professional enough to come together and talk about our problems and to grow with one another. It really takes that communication to grow and to become the best. You're always going to be coming and having problems whatever you do in any sport, in any facet of life. And if you communicate about those problems, you're going to come out ahead.
Let's get back to the action in Fort Myers. Smith serving, 9-8. And no communication on this baby.
Not the heater, just tremendous accuracy and heads bowed in divorce court. No communication.
Hovland has it. A chance to go to 13-12. Big play here. Hovland. Can't get it. Smith will come at you. Smith. Hovland chasing. He's got it. Hovland is stepping. Needed back. Not yet. Back over to Hovland. Not yet. Oh, out of point. Smith serves for championship point. Hovland. That's it. Smith and Stoklos leave Fort Myers, Florida as the champs and stage repeat performances against Hovland and Steffes in the next two cities on the tour. With wins in Fort Lauderdale, Florida and Phoenix, Arizona, they meet again for the fourth consecutive time in San Diego, California. Although Hovland and Steffes have yet to win a tournament, the fans never fail to respond to the ever-popular crowd-pleaser, Tim Hovland.
Volleyball was nothing when we first started 15 years ago. Cindy Smith, myself, Mike Dodd. There was like no money on the beach. We'd play for dinners and things like that. Now there's $3.6 million on the beach. I mean, we're having a good time. The fans have known me for a long time. They like the way I yell at people, and I get a little crazy on the court because that's just the way I am. I'm out there, I'm bearing all. I'm playing out there naked. I've tried, you know, this is me. I'm not hiding anything. I'm coming here to play, and I'm going to play as hard as I can. I think they respect that and they like that.
His first stop block of the afternoon for Timmy the Hob, the mighty Hob, they call him.
Perhaps one of the most colorful aspects of watching the Hob play is his unique signature, and the fans eat it up.
Same.
Again, husband and wife again. There goes the kick-up. Hogland, the incredible Hob.
I owe you $50. It went before the first side change.
To rip my shirt off is not part of my game plan. If I leave it on, I think you're going to win the tournament. It's something I started just doing. Not that easy to do if you ever try it one time. But you just got to get a little, you know, if something happens, just kind of releases some emotion that I have built up. And then, you know, get some crowd into it. And then you have to come back and make a good play, or you really look pretty stupid. I think I could play this game probably for another couple, 3 years at a high level. I mean, I don't ever want to drop down and be getting 17ths and 13ths and stuff like that. That's not me. I'll give it a couple of 2 or 3 more years. I mean, I'm still at the top. I could hang on. If your body hangs on, you're hanging on. Mentally, I'm as tough as anybody out there. It's a matter if the wheels keep going. So we'll see how it goes.
The mighty Hob, number 3 on the all-time career earnings list. Here in San Diego, playing with his partner, Kent Steffes. Steffes is making his presence felt on the volleyball circuit. Here he is in the light blue shorts. He's young, he's strong, and he's zeroing in on being a superstar.
Oh, I'm not sure what I would have done if I didn't choose beach volleyball. I would love to have been a professional basketball player, but I'm too short and can't shoot. So this is, I guess, where I am.
And where he is everywhere on the court.
As a young player, I think I got to work on just about everything. My blocking can use improvement, my digging can use improvement, my ball control and my setting can use improvement. I can get stronger, which is something that the older players don't have a problem with. They seem to last a little longer than I do. Mentally, I could be stronger. It's just, there's always improvement in your game.
Kent might think his game needs improvement, but that doesn't stop some of the best players from wanting to sign him up.
I guess it feels kind of nice to have the best people in the game wanting to play with them. I feel as if I'm ready to play with those types of players, and I hope they're saying the same things. I'm glad to play with Kent because he's one of the best players on the tour.
That's trouble. Double block. Smith saves. Stokey. What a play. That's a point. Game plan of Hovland and Steffes is working as we're tied. Smith. Hovland with a dig. Could be another point. Jumps with the net. And Stokos wins it. Cut shot. Smith has it. Steffes digs right back. Can he put it away? Yes! And Steffes continues to do it all here. Really had no choice but to cut that ball. The ball is set so far inside. That's why Smith was there. But here's the play. Perfect overhand dig, and Hovland working to get in good position. Kent Steffes again inside out, beating Stokos down the sideline.
13-12. Now easy serving to Smith. He's gobbling these babies up.
Like said, Kong down.
What is a Kong anyway? Let's head to the classroom for a crash course in volleyball lingo with Professor Tim Hovland.
Kong is a one-handed stuff block in your face rejection. You know, like Kong was doing on the thing on Kong and Plains? A dig is a hard-driven ball brought up with 2 hands or 1 hand so you can play it up and smash it back down. A couple different digs in volleyball. The underhand dig, your hands are apart, the ball's coming at you, bringing it right through, arms locked, bring the ball up. Another dig is overhand dig. The ball's more at your face, you double it, you bring it up like that. 2 basic digs in volleyball. Then I invented the gator dig. Well, it's down like this. You get with the underhand flipper up, the gator dig. A joust is a one-on-one at the net with the ball stuck in the middle, and you push it together like this, and he who falters is jousted. The skyball serve is usually used with the sun at your back, so the opponents, you serve it up in the air as high as you can, and using the sun so they can't really see the ball, and the wind will make the ball move Jump serve is used with the wind coming at you usually, and you serve the top spin serve anywhere in the court, making a move to try and receive the ball. It's just like a tennis serve, and it's very effective. It's used. That's probably the most used serve on the tour right now. A spike. So Jose Cuervo is a Cuervo and grapefruit juice.
So, now that we all speak the same language, let's rejoin a fired-up Hovland and Steffes in San Diego as they continue to press the action.
Big chance there, but Hovland couldn't get enough wood on it. A great set by Steffes.
Championship points.
Certainly going to go back to St. John Smith with Tim Hovland blocking.
Championship point. Hovland has the victory. The streak. Doubling in. Smith chasing. Steffes.
Hovland and Steffes win their first tournament of the year with a stunning upset of Smith and Stoklos. This was one sweet victory.
For the first one of the year, it was a very sweet win, yeah, because again, we had lost them actually 4 times in a row for San Rio down in Brazil. And up to that point, we were like, oh, we're never going to beat these guys. It's going to go on like this all year long.
Any victory is sweet, but it's sweetest when you get St. John Randy. If you've lost a couple times to them, they got a little emotional edge on you, a little mental edge on you. You come back and you get a big victory.
The defeat in San Diego may have been a blessing in disguise for St. John and Randy. Lighting a fire under their feet, they go on a hot streak, winning 6 more tournaments within the next 2 months. Hovland and Steffes seemed like they were going to be the team to beat. But after suffering some heartbreaking losses, Steffes dumps Hovland in favor of superstar Karch Kiraly. Kiraly joins the beach tour late after playing in Italy on the international indoor circuit, leaving Hovland to search the ranks for a new partner.
I always knew there'd be a choice when Karch came back to Italy because I was fairly sure he was going to ask me to play with him. The choice was made easier by the fact that Tim separated his shoulder about 4 weeks before Karch came back, and Tim was not playing well at that time.
At that time, I had just torn my AC joint in my left shoulder. I wasn't playing up to par. I couldn't lift my left hand to block.
And our team showed we had a 7th the weekend before Karch came back and asked me to play, so the decision again was made easier because of that.
I came out of the season okay. I mean, I started 5th. I ended up 5th for ripping out my left shoulder and playing hurt for 2 months. I'm not going to complain. Looking forward to having a better year this year, though.
Yeah, fine.
I'm really looking forward to playing with Tim. We've been practicing hard together, working out hard, and you know, I just want to get back on top, get back to where we're consistently finishing in the finals and doing well. And really, I don't have any specifics. I just want to have a Hovland bad year. I want to win some big tournaments and do well.
Switching teammates, or what the players refer to as the AVP shuffle, is not unusual during the course of a season. Does this practice hurt or help the players? Pro Beach star Mike Whitmore.
It is a big disadvantage to switch around partners a lot. You look at the top teams, top 2 or 3 teams, they tend to stay together, but the lower ranked teams, they have a bad tournament and they get on the phone that week and look for somebody else. But personally, I think I played with 6 or 7 or 8 guys last year. I was bopping around pretty good, but hopefully I can find a partner and be more consistent this year. There's a big advantage of playing with the same guy, you know, for a month straight, and you tend to know each other, what you're going to do in a certain occasion, and know each other's reactions to certain situations and things like that. So I think you'll see guys staying put a little more this year and staying with the same guy a little more.
It's a profession out there, and you can't stand to stick with one guy too long and lose a lot of money. You got to continually seek out the best partnership. And when you do that, you hold on to them for as long as you can.
So with our players' deck reshuffled, we leave San Diego and take you eastward for another major tournament on the circuit. Although we don't have a movie on this flight, we do have something that you might find interesting. the sights, the sounds, and the sights of this truly attractive sport. Adding to its mounting list of tournament sites, the AVP floats ashore at a brand new city, beautiful Belmar Beach, New Jersey. With a surprising cast of characters leading the pack, Smith and Stoklos are wiped out early, while the successful pairing of Karai and Steffes places them in the finals against Adam Johnson and Pat Powers. Powers, a 5-year veteran of beach volleyball, was a member of the USA Olympic team back in 1984. Adam Johnson, a relative newcomer to the beach, is no stranger to volleyball, having played indoors in Italy. So let's find out if the pairing of Karai and Steffes will pay dividends, or will Johnson and Powers send them off to repeat the partner shuffle?
Come on! Down the line, Steffes has it. Joust coming.
No!
Yes. Touch. Steffes, kaboom!
Karch Karai serves. Now check out the reflexes this superstar possesses. Let's find out a little more about this living legend.
He just may be the greatest volleyball player of all time. So popular and so good that the Italian team, Il Massaggero, was willing to pay him $500,000 to play this year and $1 million to play next year. And yes, they treated him like a king.
We had a very good time. They treated us really well, but it's 10 times better to be home than it is to be anywhere else. And we got paid very handsomely for it. We appreciate that, but it's difficult to be away from home for 8 months, no matter where those 8 months are spent.
KK's team won the championship and finished an incredible 26-1, but for the Karai family, it was tough being away from the good old USA.
One of the toughest things being in Italy was that this is our first one. This is my parents' first experience at grandparenting, and we felt really bad taking him away for so long. You may have seen my dad at the beach today, latched on to Christian all day long, including holding him during his nap. He just loves to carry him all around, and they don't get a chance to see him that often, and that was probably the hardest part.
We know what it's like to play against Karch. You lose. But what is it like to be married to him? Well, for his beautiful wife, Jana, it's a dream come true.
It is beyond my dreams. It's beyond my dream relationship. I say that all the time. It's better than I thought that I would ever have. It's just perfect. If there's any man in the world for me, it's him. And he's a kind, wonderful husband, and I consider myself very, very lucky to have him.
So Karch Karai is now back on the beach. Will he stay or will he go? Will he play indoors? Will he stay out? What are Karch Karai's goals for the future?
On the beach is to try to become a member of the best team on the beach, and hopefully I'll do that with Kent.
Back in Belmar, having pulled out to an early lead, Karai and Steffes try to win match point for the 4th time.
This could be it. Steffes has it. Can he put it away? Not yet. Here comes the peeper. And he dinks it in.
This team just refuses to go away. Powers tries to fire himself up by keeping the fans in the game. An amazing 7 match points later, Johnson and Powers are still hanging on. Is this an upset in the making?
Good. Up there live. Come on.
Steffes has it. Gotta come, I think. Karch touched it. Powers with the save. Steffes with a dig. Up high. Yes!
Powers and Johnson nearly postponed the inevitable. Except for 11 match points at the 11th hour, this contest was a virtual blowout victory for Karai and Steffes. They win their first professional tournament of the year, 15-9. When you come out to the beach to watch a volleyball tournament, you might also be treated to a competition of a different kind. Certainly one of the most popular is the Miss Miller Lite bathing suit contest. From bathing buttes to athletic brutes, beach volleyball has something for everybody. And no place is that more evident than at the long-anticipated offshore Manhattan Beach Open. This was the scene at Manhattan Beach, circa 1974. The final featured the greatest names of the era. Greg Lee, the former UCLA basketball star, was teamed with five-time King of the Beach, Jim Menges. Facing them on the other side, another fabulous team, the legendary Ron Von Hagen, 35 years old at the time, and the great Tom Shamalis. Two teams of the mid-70s who would battle for supremacy. That August day in 1974 belonged to Von Hagen and Shamalis. They were the kings of Manhattan. Today, the kings are different. They are richer, but not prouder. Bigger, but perhaps not better. Different eras and different times. The men of yesteryear and the men of today. All at Manhattan. This historic site is well known to volleyball fans. It's the home of the sport itself. What's happened here so far? Only the biggest upset of the year. Scott Akatubby and Steve Timmons have shut down Smith and Stoklos. In the finals, they will face Karai and Steffes, who have kept their winning streak alive. Scott Akatubby played with a number of different partners before pairing up with Steve Timmons for this tournament. A win here could cement this new team and make them major contenders at the U.S. Championship in Hermosa Beach. But in this tournament, they still have to get by Karai and Steffes, who have been blasting them with aggressive play.
Kent. Cut. Nice done.
Karch Karai and Steve Timmons are far from strangers. These former teammates in the Olympics and in Italy are best friends. In fact, Timmons was the best man at Karch's wedding.
It's just been great knowing him, being a good friend of his for so many years. We've gone through so much together and seen so much together. It's really something special to go through the championships and the struggles with someone that's your best friend, someone you can relate everything with.
So now these best friends will be forced to face each other from opposite sides of the net, right here in Manhattan Beach, home of a tournament that has become a classic.
Right to Steffes, who's waiting, and then stuffs him. San Antonio, Timmons blocks Steffes, but he can't block Karch. On that play, here he comes, the horse, got it! Steffes serving. This could be it, it is, and Steffes and Karai have won it.
Losing the big one at the hands of Karai, Timmons will find it easier to relate to his pal off the court rather than on. These guys have to be in top form to stay tough through an entire tournament, let alone an entire season. How do they do it? Like this. Training for the Pro Beach Tour is all about leg work. Try 300 or 400 jumps out of the deep sand, all before your morning cup of coffee. Then jump 100 hurdles. How much training is necessary? Let's check in with some of the pros and find out.
For me, the training is pretty much an all-day, all-night types of things, especially with our tour in which you have 27 events spread out almost in consecutive weekends. You start up early in the morning, you lift weights, and you go down to the beach and you play, and then you might go to the track. Especially for myself, I go to the track and I work out on the track. But we play all day long, and it's going to take its toll. You have to be in great physical shape in order to handle it. We're usually playing in temperatures no lower than 90 to 95, and we have played up to 150 on the court in Brazil in a closed stadium, and it can really hammer you if you're not in shape.
Some veterans stay in shape the old-fashioned way. They earn it with solitude at sunset.
If I had a choice, and I guess I do have a choice, I would go down to the beach when there aren't many people around and do my own training without having to deal with some of the other pros or some of the other people. You know, we're hit on pretty hard when we travel, when we go to the cities. I mean, at this point, this sport has gotten to the point where we are besieged by people. And not only that, just playing against the same guys every weekend, you don't really want to see them during the week. I mean, I know I have to go out and you know, play my hardest to beat these same guys. Well, I don't want to see them during the week.
Yet for Mike Whitmarsh, training solo has become a real pain.
That was kind of a hard part for me. I've been playing basketball most of my life, and I've always had a coach pushing me in practices. And beach volleyball, you're basically on your own. So this year, I hired a personal trainer the last couple months. We've been running a lot and going to the weight room and doing drills. That's something I think you're going to see in the future of beach volleyball, people hiring personal trainers, coaches, just taking the game more seriously, the conditioning part and the playing part.
Tim Hovland feels so strongly about the conditioning of his fellow athletes that he offers this challenge.
I would love to get some of the athletes in this sport in the Superstars competition. And against these football players, basketball players, baseball players, we have some of the best athletes in the world, no doubt about it. On it, I mean, we're talking not just volleyball, basketball, running, jumping, swimming, whatever you want. These are damn good athletes. So anytime you want to get us against you guys, you got us.
So that's how some of the athletes meet the demands of this rigorous sport. So now let's see if all of that hard work paid off. On our next stop on the tour, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
The tournaments that they have to build volleyball courts on a parking lot is kind of like a circus atmosphere, and I really don't like that too much. But places like Milwaukee, where you think it wouldn't be a very fun tournament, you know, Milwaukee, people think, God, Milwaukee, that's kind of strange, but it's on Lake Michigan, it's a beautiful beach, there's trees across the street, I mean, it's just gorgeous, and I just really enjoy those tournaments that have the natural beach setting.
Has had some health problems as you look at the great crowd that has come to Bradford Beach to watch this championship.
Early in this contest, Karai and Steffes lose and are eliminated. Ricky Ludes and Adam Johnson, playing together for the first time, advanced to the finals by knocking off Smith and Stoklos. Smith has spent almost the entire season nursing a hand injury. So the table is set for the $75,000 Miller Lite Open from Milwaukee, as Ricky Ludes and Adam Johnson face John Hanley and Mike Whitmarsh.
Ricky Ludes out of UCLA. He's 29 years old, a gold medalist from 1988. His partner, A.J. Adam Johnson, former USC Trojan, one of the best arm swings, the hardest hitters on the beach. They will be going up against John Hanley, the former University of Hawaii star. He's 30 years old. He has 18 wins, the most experienced player in this final. And his partner is a very big tall guy, 6'7" last year's Rookie of the Year, former basketball star Mike Whitmarsh.
They need a timeout, I think, early to get some momentum back.
Excitement was in the air. Nerves were raw, as this was the first tournament ever covered by NBC. Also, use of the rally clock became an integral part of this game. Now players can win by either reaching 15 points or being ahead when time runs out.
Another unforced error by Ricky Ludes, hitting the ball off the top of the tape and out of bounds. Johnson and Ludes off to a horrible start.
It was a little shaky start. I believe we came out to a 5-0, 0-5 start, I should say. Going into that tournament, it was a network televised tournament.
On Sunday,
I think
Adam Johnson
we were
dumped
a
him
little
when Ricky
bit
Ludes came available and was
scared,
playing with
so
him
to
this
speak,
week,
to
and
be
they
the
meet
first
the
ones
finals.
on network live television. And
by
I
Johnson.
think we were just a
Chance
little
for a point.
tentative right off the bat.
Not yet. Hanley. Yeah!
We got out to a good start in that game. I think we were up 5-0 and 10-5 or something, and then Ricky started blocking real well and playing real well. Maybe we should have served Adam a little more.
But they weren't serving Adam, and Ludes and Johnson were able to build momentum, turning this match around.
Chance for a point. Big one here. Johnson. Yes!
We settled down. We knew that we can beat this team, so we had to regroup after the first timeout, or first couple timeouts, and side switch, and just played our game. We thought back to earlier in the tournament. This was our first tournament together. That
Ludes unloads.
We don't have the experience
Ricky Ludes
together,
again can just rise
we've been
and
playing
then
well
bring
in
it,
this
and you go
tournament.
down the
and
line
let's
or
just think
cross
and
court.
focus
10-8
on
score
that
remains.
and
Hanley
consistently
Whitmarsh by
side
2.
out and just play our game.
Johnson has it.
Forget about the
Could be a
TV.
point. Should be a point. No! It's out. Yes, it is a point.
Here come Johnson and Ludes, and so far, strategy's working. We're dead even here.
Ludes with a set, and Johnson kills it.
This is a huge comeback for Johnson and Ludes because the way they got out of the blocks, I thought there was no way they could win this match.
Johnson and Ludes have the lead, 11-10. Down at 1.94. Ludes has come alive.
Terrible set.
Big score!
Everybody's wanting the underdogs to win, and in this case, I don't know if we were the underdogs, but we were down and became the underdogs. And because of that, I think the fan support, we were getting pretty good fan support throughout the tournament, and I think that they just kind of raised our level of play by raising the volume that they were giving to us, and I think that just helped us out a great deal.
Blocked for the championship. Blocked for the championship. A save. And we have one more play, unless Hanley and Whitmarsh can score a point. Whitmarsh will serve.
Ludes puts this ball down, they win.
Ludes for the championship. Got it! That's it!
I've thought just about every play. It's gone through my mind. I've had trouble sleeping. It was a great match, and it was good for volleyball, I think, for being such a close match. All in all, it was a great game, and I was just glad to be a part of it. I wish I could have been on the other end, but maybe next year.
As we leave Milwaukee with only 1 month left in the season, we can feel the lure of a $750,000 payday waiting for us in Hermosa Beach. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. After Ludes and Johnson win another big tournament in Cleveland, we come back home to California and touch down in Seal Beach. Here in the finals of Seal Beach, we are fortunate to have as its participants the creme de la creme. St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos against Karch Garai and Kent Steffes. It doesn't get any better than this.
No score. I'll tell you what, this is one team that is not afraid to go to Randy Stoklos and go to him often.
the Kings of the Beach, against the Dream Team, and one enormous rivalry between Smith and Karai. My partner, Paul Sunderland, takes a closer look.
Karch Kiraly is synonymous with indoor volleyball worldwide. Arguably, the greatest player of all time. St. John Smith, well, quite simply, he is beach volleyball.
It all started right here at UCLA, where Smith and Kiraly crossed paths for the very first time. Between them, 5 NCAA championships, and of course they were both All-Americans. And in 1981, they even teamed up to win the Pro Beach Volleyball World Championships. Since then, they've both gained fame and fortune, but they have taken entirely different paths to get there. Kiraly, a 2-time Olympic gold medalist in 1984, and as team captain in Seoul, here crushing the Soviets in the finals. Now playing in the Italian Professional League for Il Messaggero. His team wins the championship, and for his services next year, he will be paid a cool $1 million. Smith is the winningest player in the history of pro beach volleyball. A dispute with the head coach kept him from sharing in Kiraly's Olympic glory.
I wanted to make a really serious commitment to the Olympic team. It wasn't a matter of finances or anything. It was a matter of trying to be the best, and the best in the world. And there was really no forum on the beach to try to prove yourself internationally and worldwide.
I concentrated on beach volleyball as soon as the indoor season ended at UCLA. And I was just very lucky I could do both throughout my college career. And then when the national team came along, I had to give up the beach volleyball because I knew that there was only, so many opportunities to play in the Olympics. So I was willing to do that. But when I left the national team, there was beach volleyball 100% of the time.
For 10 years, Smith and his partner Randy Stoklos have dominated the beach. But now Kiraly is back and closing fast. A rivalry? Yes, and hotter than ever.
Now Karch is kind of coming back to the beach and, of course, wants to be a big part of the beach game. And I don't think obviously it'd be better for us to work together to help the sport grow, but I don't know if it's the media that does it or what, but they're putting us against each other.
Where I come from, more playing indoors most of the time over the last 10 years, being the best has with it an obligation to try to be ambassadors for your sport, to try to be on your best behavior, and in our case, indoors, be ambassadors for our country and put off a good image. And that means not arguing referees' calls every single play. It means a certain level of sportsmanship, and I don't think those guys have always held themselves to the same standards that many other players do. Part of it is just scratching and clawing and keeping any hold they can on number one, and those are certain tactics that most of the other players on the tour won't resort to, won't bait the referee and complain and whine on every single play.
Do you enjoy beating them more than anybody else?
Absolutely enjoy beating them more than anybody else.
I don't think there's necessarily any animosity between us. It's just the fact that, everyone else is creating that rivalry that makes you feel like there's a problem between, two people. Then there really isn't.
But back in Seal Beach, the biggest problem facing Smith and Kiraly is facing each other from across the net. Like the legendary bouts between Frazier and Ali, these two bring out the best in each other. It's Veterans Day in California as both teams hit the beach with all of their firepower, mounting non-stop offensive attacks. This play could stand alone as a beach volleyball highlight reel.
Come on!
Kiraly and Steffes win this particular rally, and there are many more to come in this outstanding tournament. In the second part of this double final, there's another magnificent exchange. The fans always expect a great match when the tour comes back home to California, but they got more than they bargained for in this one.
Come on, over!
Tight. Steffes. Back again. Steffes again. Nobody but Randy Stoklos has this shot. Here are a couple of jousts. Look at Stokey covering himself. And then the joust again. Smith working hard from another angle. Now we're going to see the backhand flipper. And this should be a free ball. Steffes has got to pass that ball well.
After some incredible acrobatic plays by both teams, Smith and Stoklos fight their way through this war to serve for the championship.
Another chance. This time, St. John will get a set. Still alive. Free ball. St. John will swing for the championship. Yes!
Yeah, we're still number one. St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos dominate the first half of the '91 season. But then along came Karch Kiraly and Ken Steffes, who went on a run of their own, winning 4 of 5 tournaments. But the hottest team on the beach right now, a USC Trojan and a UCLA Bruin. Adam Johnson, Ricky Ludes, they've won 2 tournaments in a row and are looking for more. Who will it be? The Kings of the Beach, the Dream Team, or the Trojan and the Bruin, Johnson and Ludes? Who will step up and cash in on the pot of gold? Find out next.
It's just a short jaunt down the beach to Hermosa for the richest tournament of the year. Here's what all the players have been working for. Undisputed recognition as the United States Volleyball champions and the recipients of over $100,000 in prize money. All of the players share the same dream at the beginning of the season, to wind up here in the finals, but only 2 teams will. One team you'd expect to find here didn't make it. Karch Kiraly and Ken Steffes eliminated early by Scott Akatubby and Brent Frohoff. But what about the Kings of the Beach? St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos, working through their mid-season slump, come on strong and fight their way to the top of the heap. Facing them are the young upstarts Ricky Ludes and Adam Johnson. These guys have proven that they can play under pressure. Having won in front of a national TV audience in Milwaukee, they meet again here with the NBC Peacock looking on. And so begins the grand finale as St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos meet Ricky Ludes and Adam Johnson.
And Stoklos will have the opportunity to terminate, go to 4. Got it!
When you serve into the wind, really able to hit this jump serve hard into the opposing wind.
Come on, Randy Stoklos. And Johnson with a superb dig. But Ludes has to shovel it over. Smith. Should be a point. Right here. Johnson. No! Stoklos with a dig. And the set. Ludes.
That's the best of beach volleyball. We talked about the dig. Well, here's the first. Look at this rocket. Just controlling the ball, making it look easy. And then Adam Johnson right back at you. This time,
what makes competing in Hermosa Beach so special? For a player's perspective, let's go to Adam Johnson.
The defensive hustle is there, and Ricky Ludes, who is
the
an
level of
All-American.
play is raised. You don't have any second chances. You don't have next weekend to say, oh, I could have beat these guys. I can get them next weekend. It's all here and now. There's no dress rehearsal.
They trail by 3.
Hit it!
Johnson looking for a point. Not yet. Ludes looking for a point. And he gets it. Ludes and Johnson need a point right here. Johnson could be a point. Ludes got to hit that. Couldn't. He was off balance. Smith, can he hit? Johnson digs. Luty's down. Luty's is gas.
Yeah, there was the fatigue right there. Adam Johnson with a pretty good dig, but Luty's legs are gone. Normally he would get to this ball. There's the dig. Look at Ricky. He's chugging, but just not covering the ground effectively.
Clock ticking down. Smith. He hit it out. We're tied.
They're not only playing for points, they're playing against time as the rally clock comes into play.
11 all. Just under 21 seconds to go. So close. Johnson has it. A chance to go ahead. Yes! To be careful of the sky ball. You don't want to hit it out.
If they score here, it's a moot point.
Clock running down. Still close.
That's set.
Block. Ball kept in play. Clock ticking down. 2 seconds. 1 second. Smith. Block. It's over. Johnson and Luty's have won it.
They were dead in the first round of this tournament. Comebacks all weekend long is the story.
So Luty's and Johnson ambush Smith and Stokos in Hermosa, capturing the pot of gold and all the glory that goes with it. So that's a look at the 1991 season. Now you know what all the fuss is about. You've had a glimpse of where pro beach volleyball has been. As to the future of the sport, only time will tell. But you can be sure its meteoric rise will only continue. You can expect bigger prize money, the rise and fall of the game's stars, more tournament sites around the country, and you can expect to see the most explosive action that any sport can offer. I hope you enjoyed our look at Pro Beach Volleyball. I'm Chris Marlowe, and the beach is now officially closed.